the sun has provided Earth with light for billions of years, which is also a critical component for life as we know it. So, it's natural to wonder what would happen to the solar system if the sun disappeared. According to all experts, the sun's disappearance would be disastrous for Earth. If the sun disappeared, the Earth's gravitational pull would cease, with disastrous consequences for life on its surface. This implies that the Earth would travel at a speed of about 30 kilometers per second towards the stars, which is about 67,000 meters per hour. There might be some later contact among the planets of the old solar system, but otherwise, we'd be drifting through space for the rest of our lives, most likely without ever encountering another object. Planets, comets, asteroids, and everything else in its vicinity, on the other hand, would continue to move forward. Because all planets orbit the sun in their own unique trajectories, the absence of the sun would force them to take random and unique paths. The sun is approximately 333 times the mass of Earth and emits the equivalent energy of 100 billion hydrogen bombs every second. The sun's massive mass makes it the most dominant gravitational force in the solar system, locking all 8 planets into elliptical orbits. At the same time, the sun's immense energy heats our planet just enough to make Earth's surface warm enough for liquid water, the catalyst for life. But what would happen if the sun went out? What would we feel and see if it suddenly went poof? What appears to be a silly question was actually an important thought experiment for Albert Einstein: the speed of gravity. Prior to Einstein's attack on this problem, scientists suspected, but had yet to prove, that gravity acted instantly. If that were true, the first thing that would happen when the sun went out would be for Earth and all the other planets to fly off into space. Our solar system would be in complete disarray. Light, on the other hand, travels at approximately 671 million miles per hour and takes approximately 8 minutes to reach Earth. As a result, the sun would still be visible in our sky 8 minutes after it had set. So, if the speed of light is constant and the speed of gravity is instantaneous, we would experience the sun's disappearance before seeing it. However, as Einstein demonstrated in his 1915 theory of general relativity, gravity's force is not instantaneous. It actually travels at the same speed of light. As a result, if the sun went down, we'd be blissfully unaware for 8 minutes that our doom was approaching. Eternal night. However, we would not be left in complete darkness. The stars would continue to shine, and electricity would continue to power cities for as long as the power lasted. Even the planets would be visible for a short period of time. For example, when Jupiter is closest to Earth, it is about 33 light minutes away, which means we would continue to see the giant planet after the sun had gone down for more than an hour, the time it takes for residual sunlight to reach Jupiter and reflect back to Earth. But after 8 minutes, one thing on Earth would come to a halt, explains Michael Stevens, founder and star of the hugely popular YouTube channel Vsauce. Without sunlight, photosynthesis, the process by which all plants produce food, would come to a halt the moment the sun disappears from our sky. Most small plants would die in a matter of days, but that's not the issue. Earth's average surface temperature would drop to 32 degrees Fahrenheit after the first week, and then to negative 150 degrees Fahrenheit by the end of the year, according to Stevens. All the while, Earth's oceans would become increasingly cold, eventually freezing over and transforming the planet into an ice world. However, similar to deep lakes in winter, only the surface would freeze, leaving a liquid ocean beneath. According to Stevens, if any humans survive this extreme transformation, their only refuge will be near geothermal vents on the ocean floor. These vents emit heat that rises from the Earth's core. Life on Earth would thrive for billions of years. This way of life would be miserably dark and lonely, and it is unclear whether humans could survive in such conditions. The animals that live around these vents today, on the other hand, would survive for billions of years after the sun went out. This is because these animals do not require sunlight to survive. Instead, they obtain their food and energy from the heat emitted by geothermal vents. While most life on Earth would be extinct if the sun did not exist, these geothermal-loving organisms would continue to thrive for billions of years without giving a damn about the sun's absence. Surprisingly, this ice ball Earth resembles some of Jupiter's moons, which astrobiologists believe may harbor extraterrestrial microbes. What lies beyond? The Earth is currently orbiting the Sun at a blistering 67,000 miles per hour. The Sun's gravitational pull would be lost if it disappeared, but the Earth's speed would remain constant. Consider tying a rock to the end of a string and then swinging that string in a circle over your head to understand why. You then let go of the string. The rock travels in a straight line away from you, just as Earth travels in a straight line away from the central point in space where the Sun used to sit. Assuming no other planets, asteroids, or comets collide with Earth, it would only take 377 million hours, which is about 43,000 years, to travel 4.3 light years to the nearest star, which is Alpha Centauri. After 1 billion years, Earth would have traveled 100,000 light years, or the length of the entire Milky Way galaxy, according to Stephen. Conclusion: the Sun's disappearance would almost certainly result in the extinction of humanity. It's a matter of when, not if. If the Sun goes out, Earth will be left with few options. It is extremely unlikely that it will orbit Jupiter, and even if it does, any existing life on the planet will perish. Earth can support such a diverse range of life because of its optimal position within the Sun's orbit, the Goldilocks zone, which is the best environment for life to exist. The world will freeze over, flora and fauna will vanish, and everything we know will be lost. It would be catastrophic for humanity as well as other species on the planet. But first, let's look at the bright side of things. The core of the Earth is expected to remain warm. We may be able to build houses deeper beneath the Earth's surface, but this is unlikely to be feasible on a large scale. Then, there's the perplexing issue of what we'd eat if we couldn't have meat, vegetables, or fish. So that's the end of the video. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and press the notification bell so you never miss out on our next videos. Until the next video, take care.